Boom! Live and direct on the Tru-Mon Show. Once again, a pleasure, an honor to exchange those moments with my great brother Will and all of you watching live and watching after because this is recorded. So, greetings, Will. How are you?
Oh, it's great, great. The sun's passage today, the rays are fantastic.
Great. Beautiful day, beautiful day. It's very cold in the Montreal area, but
Mm.
it's okay. I have everything to keep my heart warm. I have good food for the brain. That's what we're gonna talk about. You know, food
Mm.
for thoughts and food
Yeah.
for the brain, and that's what we start with tonight. With it's a continuum of our series. Of course, if the first time you watch it, we're doing something about words, sound, and the power in the words. But because me and Will have a great ear and we hear sound, so we hear sound, similar sound in words. So we're trying to decorticate all this and make sense of all this, so we have more clarity into the whole thing, into our life. Yeah, that's it. Into our brain, more clarity in the brain. So tonight we start with bread, Will, and bread. You have bread B. You can say bread, the food be read, okay, be read. That's what it says, and the
Yeah.
bread brought up, okay. But what I see the bread here, the reason why I think it's called bread and it's food and it's the main, the bread. Give me your insight after. What do you see? Because the bread is very ancient. It's a very ancient food. Like I
Yeah.
think from the like we
Biblical.
always
It's
been eating bread.
biblical.
As far as
It,
I'm, huh?
yeah. It's biblical. It's in all the ancient texts, pretty
Yeah,
much. Yeah. Bre-
the bread. And if we look at the word bread, that's it. It's a very ancient food. First of all, pretty much everybody ate, ate, have consumed bread in their life. Have consumed bread in their life. And also, what I see is be read. And what happens when you read is you're feeding your brain. It's like food for thought when you read. So that's why I think it's called bread. And you look at it, it's be read, because when you read, that's why when we look at words and m- read the sentence, it's called reading, because be read. I think when you see that be, that's a feeling. We've been talking a lot about a lot of words and stuff, and it always the be into the words come back often as the verb being.
yeah.
Extend
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. The bee always seems to constitute. Yeah, this is in existence. This is happening. It's a thing that's is being. It's a being. Yeah. Then with the read, be read, be read, bread, be read. So you have the because that's the beginning of the color spectrum. So you with the breeding. So you're breeding light is so that's the beginning of the color spectrum. B read Re- read is also like what's in ponds and stuff like that. Reeds, there's the base, the root, sort of the stalk of reeds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they're
no.
they're hollow they're hollow
Yeah,
tubes with flowing life in them. You know that's it's like a tree. It's sort of like a bark of a tree. You read
yeah, yeah. And the bread. What about the bread? Yeah, brought up with what
raisin.
relation do you see with that being brought up and eating bread and the color red? And because when the sound that it makes, you're right. I never thought of bread, the color red, because the next one after bread you have the red,
Yeah.
and bread you have the sound red. So what's the now we're doing this thing live and direct. You people have to understand that we're doing this live and direct, and we haven't got together to talk about all that stuff before. So we have to be
Yeah.
sharp on the spot, and sometimes give us the chance a bit to think, because it's like it's on the spot. It's live and direct. I haven't looked at the list before either to start. I'm doing it with you.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no, this is I
I
mean,
just
this
want
is
to specify.
coming to my coming to me as we speak too. It's live and direct. Boom.
Yeah, yeah. So the red. So what? Because you said the red exactly. Like the
It,
blood is red. Also, the blood is
yeah,
red.
the blood is red. You know, that's the flowing life of our body, and yeah, it's the beginning of the life spectrum. It's the beginning of the chakras. This is our the red chakra is that's in charge of breeding.
Yeah.
This so and yeah, it all goes back to Venus and that's her color is red and rose and she's like the creator and sort of the mother.
And also the red, like you say, it's at the base of the chakra thing. That's the one at the bottom, and it's the basic color. Like you see red everywhere. Like you see red on flags, you see red on the police car. Like they have a red and blue light. That's not a coincidence. I don't
No.
buy it. Because it is everywhere the same. So it's not a coincidence. Like in China, I think that the police car it's red and blue. Also, it's red and blue everywhere. Unless I'm mistaken, but as far as I'm concerned, I've seen movies and that, and it's always red and blue. So the red is a very significant color, but for many reasons, yeah. And even here on YouTube, like my hat is red, I know. My letters are red, I know, but the
Yeah.
stop broadcast is red also. Like the
Yeah.
red is everywhere here on YouTube.
Yeah. The red shift, blue shift. It always
Yeah.
always seems to be red and blue. Look, yeah, more red and blue. Yes, yeah, it's
So
everywhere. The red and blue.
so it's a
Um,
very basic color. We can say it's a basic
Yeah,
color a bit.
like yeah, the red will be like it's low vibration, right? It's the lower vibration, and apparently I've heard that blue is sort of a disruptive color, like it's one of the worst colors to have for your background on your laptop, your TVs, your computer screen, sort of thing, is the blue. That's what I heard. I don't know whether that holds water or not. Hey, you see how that always going back to the
The
water.
worst background would be blue, you said?
Yeah, apparently blue is sort of yeah. We don't really care for blue. Like it's sort of disruptive to us ourselves, but yeah, it's like, but it also like these bright colors. Yeah, it speaks to us like it's hey, fresh fruit, it's ripe, it's time to go, sort of thing.
Uh, and the red, you have it on a street light also, like red, yellow, and green. Those three color has to be, and you see it on the leaves also. When the leaf change color, they go from green to yellow to red, all kinds of color in between. But yeah, so it's very, very.
Yeah, and apparently green is supposed to be a better color and more because it's in the middle. Roy G Biv, three colors on each side of green. So
And it's so in plain sight, and the street light, they tell you go green,
yeah,
go green, go. It's green, go green.
yeah, and that's the heart chakra, right? Go
Yeah.
from the heart. Yeah, yeah.
So it's in plain sight. That's why they
Yeah,
say it's in
your
plain sight.
your red chakra, your lower chakra. Yeah, yeah. Stop. Don't go on red. Go on green.
Yeah, yeah, don't go on red, go on green. That's it. So next one is bridal. Bridal. You have Bridal, belonging to wedding,
Yeah,
and bridal, a curb. Bridal. I think it's bridal. Same thing. Maybe my pronunciation is not. But yeah, like
yeah,
belonging, like the bride also, like bridal come bride. I think the
yeah. Bridal. See, look, belonging to wedding. And that's what you do when you're like reining in a horse. You're bridling a horse. I think that's an expression too. Yeah, you're like reining in. I learned this after I married my wife, but apparently to them in their maritime law, legal, their maritime legality, uh, they picture, they think that a man marrying legally marrying a woman is now that man is in control of her.
It's funny, huh? We say, I just noticed when you said it. When I when I married, you go get married, but you marry someone. It's like, are you going on a merry-go-round? When you marry, are you going on a merry-go-round? Is that why we say also Merry Christmas, like the merry-go-round? What's that? Merry, 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 and Mary also like Mary la Sainte Vierge là, Marie,
Yeah,
la Sainte
Mary.
Vierge. Je sais pas si elle existait elle là. I don't know if she really existed, but yeah, la Sainte Vierge, Mary, 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 merry-go-round. Sound the same.
Yeah, it's, always going back to the mom, right? This is Mary Magdalene, and Mary, Mother Joseph, and it's all, yeah, it all goes back to Mary, and yeah, isn't that going back to the sea too? The mare,
Yeah.
and sea is the mom, sea is, yeah,
Yeah, the C. Yeah, la mer. Merci, merci, la mer. Next is brooch. Brooch. And you
brooch,
have to uter and jewelry. Brooch.
brooch.
Yeah,
Yeah, and usually a brooch is like you're breaking upon, you're broaching. It's sort of a negative term.
and be roach, like be roach again, like
Yeah,
a roach.
be a lower life form sort of thing, and yeah, that's what the jewelry is doing pretty much. It's you're digging into your ego there. Be your lower life form. You broach upon your true self, and
Yeah,
yeah,
because come on, jewelry is it absolutely Jew? You have the word Jew, hell, Jew. Why you have the word Jew in there? Jew L, the hell Jewry. What is that?
yeah, like, well, everything sort of, because like that Hellenistic, and yeah, that sort of Greekanize, Greek, to Hellenize is to Greekanize, and they sort of joined forces, like Rome and the Jews, and Greek there. They all joined forces, so we pick up a lot of their
They're in
language
cahoot.
from them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see the roach here, especially the roach, the bee roach, because you have
Ah,
also another place where you see roach is in cockroach. That's a very weird name for a bibit cockroach. Like where
yeah,
did they get that name from? What's the like? I don't know because these two words come back in the vocabulary, but on themselves. So what is the
yeah. The cock seems to come up once in a while too. Yeah, there's a street in Winnipeg called Coburn, but it's spelled Cockburn.
yeah
Yeah, but yeah, it was the whole CK. Like, how can you're denying two letters there? you
this
know?
is the thing. Yeah, you have the C and the K, and we said it like both do the cut. So what is that? Like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a word I used to too much, but yeah. The next one is very interesting. Okay, that's one that we were waiting, both of us. Like the other day, we chat, I think, together or something, and we said
Yeah.
something about it, and it's bureau. Okay, bureau, which is Burrow. Okay, we're gonna take it apart because that's a rabbit hole, and bureau, the town, like bureau, Borough, but
Yeah.
also bureau, Bureau, the French word bureau, but you use it in English also, like bureau. So now, if you work in a bureau, you're going in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, burrow, like, depending on where you're from, yeah, burrow.
Bureau.
You're burrowing a hole. It's all has to do with the hole, like, yeah, yeah, with borrow. And yeah, you get borrow out of that. When you're borrowing, you're digging yourself a hole because you don't. you can't afford to stay above water. Yeah, and bureau, yeah, it's the office. It's offensive, the office.
Yeah, usually you never feel really that good in the bureau. Lah. I think it's a bit, but that's what people came to not realize so much. We have, but not on me too. I include myself in there, but we think that those environment are natural now, like buildings and stuff.
Oh,
When
like most of it's all having to do with money. Like if there wasn't any money, like how much of these office jobs would actually be needed? Like
that's
it's
it.
all to feed their madness. Their
Like
dog.
PT says, most activity that we're involved in are very unnecessary for human evolution,
Yeah,
humanity, the evolution of humanity.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
if we just worried about this stuff and it's like, hey, look, this is a problem. Hey, let's work together and get the problem fixed. And there we go. Okay, problem done. Like this is just do it. It's
yeah,
all for the greater good. What's the greater good? And that's all that really matters, really.
that's it for the greater good, for the benefit of us all. Next is but. That's a very good
But
one because but we say that very often in our
mm,
sentence. In our sentence, we sentence ourselves so much with the words. That's what the more I learn about, so especially doing that thing, that kind of stuff with you, the more I shut my mouth. The more I shut my mouth because I realize it's all sound, and those sounds are sometimes driving me nuts because it's the same sound, like just the how are you, like ow, I say ow when I'm hurt, like they at one point I'm gonna have to find other words to replace it because there's just, I think that's what we're gonna come to do as a people as a whole. Eventually we're gonna realize exactly what is bringing a spell on us and the words we're using, and that because that comes naturally, I think, with a certain level of awareness or a certain level of learning. You start diving into the words, and yeah, I think as all, not because Tru-Mon and Will are doing it, that has nothing to do with it, but as a whole, at one point, we're going to come to observe more and observe the words we're using and all this. So I think humanity eventually will come to replace words, and it has already happened. Like how many words we have added to dictionaries and stuff over time. And again,
see
it's going to be from within, dissolving the nonsense from within. So yeah,
the how. It's sort of like you're in wow, like so wow how. Yeah, with how, you know, do we need to know how is this it's happening?
it's like in French we say
Is
I,
the
I, I,
You know,
I. But
yeah. How deep do we have to dig into? How deep do we have to go instead of just dealing with the fact that the thing is there? So like, yeah, digging in how is sort of an how, and just instead of just letting the thing be.
yeah, but it's kind of hurting me every time I say it too. I kind of feel hurt every time I say, "Hey, man, our." I like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's the thing. I'm
How?
not hurt here. I'm trying to undo that trauma and that. So yeah. So I know. I think it's eventually, as a whole, we will come to observe a little more. Also, like I don't know. It will happen. I'm very hopeful for humanity. Yeah.
Mm.
But you have except, like, but and except, or but push with
Yeah.
push with ed. Why do they say but push with ed? I thought they
Oh
were
yeah, the
we were
head.
talking about the posterior, your butt.
Yeah. The head butt. Uh,
Push with ed.
yeah. You're that's yeah, that is interesting because you're when your head button and the butt the accept, it's the opposite end, right? It's the opposite end of the mind of the top, so but the exception. On the other hand, s- so yeah, you have the other side. So you have two sides that are butting heads because they're of opposite to each other. So that's yeah, they're butting up to and both
Yeah.
you being butt heads at the moment. 'Cause
Yeah. Probably the idea behind it. The other one after is buy. Okay, that's an interesting one because we say that often. Buy, buy, bye, bye, and buy. You go buy something, or you pass by something. So the buy, and we're so consumer like it's a
Mm,
society that come on thrive on consummation. We have to consume, and most people are big consumer, and the worst is it's all about likes and wants. It's not about what they need. They don't buy what they need. They buy what they like and what they want. So the
yeah.
house is full of junk sometimes, and it's just accumulation of material for what reason exactly? Because also you have to consider you have to consider that when you acquire material stuff, you have to maintain it and all this. Like it takes time. Like I mean, it's all. I mean, I
Yeah.
uh, not
Like,
me
if you ever moved, oh man, the stuff that you
exact.
accumulate over the year, it's a whole bunch of it's just stuff, and it's like it hardly ever gets used. But I mean, once in a while, like that's the thing with most of my stuff is tools or of some sort, but you know, they're very rarely get touched.
But
But yeah,
Will,
buy.
by
uh,
BUY, okay, but it
Look,
says
they have the per chase. You know, you're chasing this thing, right? Is it?
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna tell you. It's a pure chase.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not chasing the pure thing. It's the, you know, it's the purchase. So it's like what you want. It's the thing that, you know, of the singular of what you want. And look at that word farewell. Yeah, you know, the fair water hole.
Yeah, like
The-
and the worst is in their farewell is the distribution of water is not fair on Earth. Like there's people that have to travel miles sometimes to get water, and here in Canada we open the tap
yeah.
and let it run. There's not even a counter to see how many water I use. That there's not no counter. Like it's plug on the tap and you can let it run for weeks and nobody will come and bother you. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
the gaspillage, le wasting of but wasting. It's not a like it goes
yeah,
back and it's a
well
cycle.
they put it on us too, like, oh, we're such huge wasters and consumers of this water. Well, I see back to that. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, the big corporations and the meat production and all their madness is there. That's the largest consumer of all the water, you know, and where they're putting these like whatchamacallit there, Las Vegas, Nevada, they're trying to take Canada's. They're trying to, you know, they were trying to broker a deal with Canada to take some of their waters because they're in the middle of the desert with millions of people there. Hey, let's have all these fountains just spraying up in the middle of the desert. What are you? What a waste
it's
of water! Like, yeah, no. And then grass. Grass is the largest consumer of water is watering our grass. Like, to stop watering our grass and yeah,
no for
let
sure.
whatever grows grow.
Like Leslie says in the chat, if you have running water tap water from the tap in your house, you're fortunate.
Yeah, no, yeah, be thankful and
Give thanks
grateful.
for that.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though sometimes there's a bit of poison in it, but this I cannot really. I'm not the kind of person that will focus really on the poison in the water because like there's poison everywhere. But also, I remember when I was younger, that was the hose. I used to drink up the hose outside.
yeah,
Never had
yeah.
problem. I grow very healthy. I'm very aware today, very sharp. So if the calcification of my pineal gland would have happened, it would have happened a long time ago. Like, I drank all my youth out of the tap outside. And the snow and all that and everything. Then like, no, no. So,
Uh, moving out to the small town here, we get our water from artesian well, but I don't know how it's treated here, but it tastes much much better than it does in Winnipeg. There, I
Yeah.
notice a huge difference. Like I could not drink the tap water out of Winnipeg. It's just ugh, ugh.
Some places it's horrible. Yeah, Montreal is not that great also, but you come to
Tr-
Chateauguay and the water it tastes very good. So no, it's
Yeah, Toronto gets their water from a glacier, and their water is quite tasty. Like I don't know. Yeah, maybe if you're strong enough and willed enough, out and healthy enough, you might be able to fight off the calcifications of fluoridizations of all this madness.
all the madness out there. Cannon is the next one. Cannon, you have a large gun
Hmm.
and also the law, the cannon rule, the cannon law, the
That's a
Vatican.
big thing too. That's going back to Canaan people, the Canads. This is very very ancient. One of the oldest groups of people, along with like the Sumerians, the Acadians. The, this is where Canada comes from. The Canads, the Canada. They were called Canaanites, I think. But yeah, yeah. I mean, their law too, the canon law. Yeah, that's a more law than the maritime law. This is more of a truer law when you look into canon law. It fits more along the lines with natural law. Uh, Yeah, natural law is, yeah, it's pretty decent along with what, if you look into natural law. Yeah, it goes fairly along the lines with nature, sort of.
And if you take the first one, cannon, also you look at the way it's spelled.
Shoots.
It's can, none. And none refers to non. Like it's none like this is canon, canon. En français, on dit canon. So
Yeah,
can, non, no, can, no. Tu peux plus, là. You're dead, so you can't do anything anymore. So you can, none. Does that
yeah,
make sense?
yeah. The cannon shoots, and then you can non with it. You you can turn things into nothing with the cannon.
Exact.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, then you have the can on though. You put your can on. It-
Yeah, you
I
put
can
your
do
can
that.
on.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go.
Wow. Canvas, and canvas with two S. The first one is the material, what you paint on, I think, the canvas. And the other one is to poll, solicit, to canvas. Okay, yeah, yeah. When you
Yeah,
solicit people
yeah.
to go vote.
When you going door to door, you're canvassing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's canvassing. Interesting. I didn't know
yeah,
that. You're canvassing when you go door to door.
yeah, yeah. That's canvassing. See,
And
that's
then,
going
yeah,
back to the Canada people again too. Yeah, vast. Vast is widespread, a vast amount.
you have the
Uh,
word ass in there. I don't know if it means anything, if it's
yeah,
signifying anything.
yeah, and the canvas too, is sort of a vast area of just sort of plainness. Well, the blank canvas, anyways, until you
Yeah, the
convert.
plain canvas. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
And it's
capital.
you get
Yeah,
convey too out of there, with the canvas you convey.
convey. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Capital. The other one, city, uppercase. Because now this is interesting because you have the capital, okay, which is the uppercase, and also the city, like the capital of whatever where you live. Manitoba is Winnipeg. There you go. Capital
See,
of Quebec is Quebec. So yeah.
See,
So
I didn't even look at that yet. I would have been one of the ignorant ones and thinking that there's only one capital way of spelling capital to the true capital.
yeah,
Yeah, no, cap it all. You have, you put a cap on it all. You're sort of you're putting the lid on it all.
cap ital. Ital is vital.
Yeah, yeah. Also, yeah, yeah. You cap the vital of it, So yeah, it's a restriction of a way, It's all some sort of restriction. You have the capital gain too, but yeah, that's sort of
Capital gain.
the amount given the amount that you get, sort of the amount that you receive. So there's a cap, there's a limit to what you're going to
And
you're
also,
going.
capital refers to city, shitty, or whatever, city. And also the uppercase, but the uppercase, when you write your name in all uppercase,
Uh,
signifies something also. When you write your name in the lowercase, it's another thing. So, yeah.
yeah, that. Uh,
Like on every bill you receive, I don't think there's a bill that
yeah.
comes in here without my name in capital letter. It's all in capital letter.
Capitis majoris, or capitis capitis diminish. I have somewhere in my notes. I have those three. Yeah, yeah. To be all underneath the capitals, and to be under understanding of the capitals, all caps letter. You're bowing down to them, and you're not in full control of yourself, and it's not the true man. It's yeah, their
That's it.
maritime thing.
Again, come back in here. The next one is carrot. That's interesting because you have carrot, the vegetable, carrot, the
Yeah.
weight, the carrot gold. Okay, for the gold, I think you use it mostly for the gold, but I think you can use it for other things. But I've seen it associated with the gold, mostly the carrot. So after that, you have carrot proofreading mark.
I've
Proofreading mark.
had that's news to me. That's new to me. Yeah, proofreading, Mark. I never. See, it's an uncommon word. It's not a word for the common people. It's something that they use somewhere somehow, a way to keep us separated, sort of thing.
I had a quote from Confucius about common people. Listen to this. It's right here. The master said to men above the common, we can talk of higher things. To men below the common, we must not talk of higher things. Confucius.
Nice, nice.
Man is good as much. That's the only thing I find when you go into old literature. Woman is often omit in the orthograph, the way they write the language. Like it's always referring to man, 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 and this is something that irritates me a bit. And I often change the quotes and add man or woman because don't you think it's a bit like excluding a woman from this world, and they're the main, they're the one who bring babies here. For me, I cannot. Give birth. So the
Yeah,
woman's divine feminines, like me. Come on, I think women are stronger probably also than men. I don't know. I admire women a lot. I admire women a lot. They're
no,
very
yeah.
strong. They're very, very. First of all, just what they do with the children and the responsibility sometimes that they take on their own. Also, many women are alone mother, yeah,
Mm,
like alone
yeah.
mother at home and everything with children. So it's not always because the responsibility of the children, yeah, falls on both parents, but it's mostly all the time the woman that takes the most because if something happened, a break into couples or something like that's often the woman that end up with the children. So no, it's no me utmost respect for every all of you ladies out there. Yeah, yeah, big time. So yeah, so what I was saying though, I don't know what
Care.
I came on to this. Why I was talking about that? We were talking about carrots,
Yeah,
eating carrots, and the carrots are orange. They grow in the
yeah.
ground.
Care rots.
You
Yep,
find
care
the gold
rot.
in the ground also. Hold on, hold on. You find the carrots in the ground. What they have in common, Will? You find carrots in the ground. You find the gold in the ground.
Both roots, they're both sort of medicines too. Like we have gold in us too, like aurora, or the ore is yeah, we have ore in us. And yeah, it's core, sort of like the core. Because
What's a proofreading mark? What is that exactly?
yeah, yeah, oh, I guess yeah, that's the proofreading. So it's looking over the core of what was written, the core writ. Is, so because it's the base that I have a problem with I don't go over in proofreading, and sometimes I just throw some of my work out there, and it's sort of raw. You're getting my carrots. It's raw.
The next after it's cash. Okay, cash is very interesting also because it's CASH, and you have the word ash, like turning into ash, like your cash, your
Hmm.
money, your money will turn into ash, like.
C ash
And the
C.
cache are old for hiding goods. A cache also, you go into a cache, and yeah, in French, cacher also. We have the verb cacher en français, which is
I
hiding.
I always pronounce it cachet. Well,
Yeah,
it's like we were talking about. Yeah, it's one of these French words that are in English that it's a French word. I call it cachet.
yeah, cacher, c'est le verbe hiding, I think, if I'm not mistaken, but cacher and cache and ash. Also, you have ash, but not only that, an ash en français, it's what you use to cut the wood. That's very interesting. Also, an
Axe,
ash is how do you call this?
axe,
Axe, axe, axe, axe. Yeah, an axe, an axe. Now, an axe en français, c'est un axe. Hold on, on s'en va fort, là, on s'en va loin avec ça, mais there's a reason for it. Un axe. So you cut the wood with an axe, qui en français s'appelle une hache. Puis là, tu as le cache.
Yeah,
Said
and
cash is made out of your money is made out of paper. Like now it's plastic. They have
yeah,
switch plastic
now
there,
it's
madness.
plastic. Now it's a form of petroleum, but it all goes to ash eventually once you burn it away. It's
Even the cash we have now, exact.
yeah, yeah.
So it
It's
all turns to ash. So it's interesting to see the
yeah,
hole for hiding goods in
you're
cash,
burning
and
your
often you put your cash into a cash. Like that's what a safe is. It's a cash.
cachet. Yeah, yeah,
Usually
yeah,
you hide your money also.
yeah. See, with the food, you're putting it away. Cash it, casket. You're casting it away in order so you can burn it up later and consume it and burn it up. So that's your cache of food. You're eventually going to burn whatever is coming in. it's
Yeah,
just like weed. It just goes up in smoke for some reason.
exact. Green turned to black. And cast is the next one after. Then you have cast, but also cast, like casting, mold, throw, a mold, a cast, and a cast, a status, CASTE.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Yeah, it's a social casting. What sort of mold do you fit into?
And we
And
say also the spell you cast on you, no?
yeah, yeah, you're casting a spell once you put your sentence together and you let the swords go free.
And
Uh,
the king lives in a castle? What is that?
yeah, and
Castle,
it
what is that? No, whoa, 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 we're going somewhere.
cast.
So
Yeah, the cast of L.
cast a veil, that's it. Take castle and that's it. It's the L,
Yeah,
so the
yeah,
cast a veil.
yeah, and usually it's you have it's a box sort of thing, the casting around the castle, like the castle itself, it's usually surrounded by a square.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? Hi. Just coming to say hi? Okay. Saying hi.
Greetings, greetings. Seed, the other one. No, so yeah, so cast
Seed.
castle. Makes sense. That's it. And
Mm.
seed, that's an interesting one. To give up seed when you seed something, yeah,
Yeah,
give up
to concede, you're
and
giving up
seed.
your seed, eh? Yeah, yeah.
And to the germ of plants, which is the seed, and the seed, wow, this is powerful because there's so
Mm,
much power in planting seeds there, because you, like I say always, you can look at an apple and count the amount of seeds, but you never know, looking at one seed, how many apples it's going to produce. So the power of planting seed is enormous, and especially that's what we're doing here with each other, is we're planting seeds within each other, and
yeah,
hopefully that seed will germinate and create something. And yeah, no, for sure the power of planting seed is enormous. So the power also to give up, I don't think it's about giving and going up. So it's a word that when I hear
yeah,
that word give up, give in, I don't know,
mm.
it's just like that's another spell that after
Yeah,
you
look,
become very
and succeed.
yeah,
Yeah,
succeed,
you get the
succeed.
succeed out of there, you know? You're sucking at seeding, you're sucking at planting, you're sucking at giving your good ups, because that's what you're giving when you're conceding. Like, if you do it properly, you're giving good ups, right? So we should say, are you giving good ups, or are you giving bad ups? We should constitute what sort of negative, what sort of polarity of the ups that we're giving, you know, just
Yeah,
yeah.
true, true. And cedar. What's the thing with cedar? Also the
Ah,
cèdre, because in French we have the cèdre, but it's cèdre, DRE, I think. But cèdre, we say cèdre, cèdre, cèdre.
the,
Dre,
the,
dre à la fin, mais it's just cèdre. So cedar,
the
cedar.
the
In
big
English, you say cedar.
yeah, the big red tree, the cedar.
Yeah, the cedar. And
It's giant. The trunk is huge. Going back to the bark of the tree.
And
It,
also, this is a very important tree because that's what they use for, if I'm not mistaken, again, the hydropole in the street. So,
cedar is an awesome wood where it
yeah,
doesn't promote rot or mold, and bugs don't like it. So it doesn't. Yeah, with water, it's fairly okay with water. Yeah, cedar is quite an awesome tree.
yeah, no,
Sure.
but it smells good also, and the smell of cedar.
Oh
And
yeah.
also, you can make a big box. I have a big box here made of cedar, and you can put like stuff in it, and the bugs don't go on it.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly why the old trunks
Yeah,
are made out of cedar. If not the outside,
that's it.
it's cedar lined. They have cedar lined drawer. Yeah, high end dressers will have cedar lined drawers. Yeah, high end dressers will be made out of cedar or have cedar linings.
True, and that when you go to high
It,
end stuff, maybe the cedar is used to
Teak
build
is
furniture.
and also another wood, sort of same characteristics. Teak wood is yeah, it doesn't promote rot, mold, and bugs and all that too. So yeah,
Hmm.
teak, tiki.
Yeah.
Mm.
Next is cell. Cell. You
So
have cell, CELL, and cell, SELL, to give for money, but also
mm,
sel. En français, it's salt. It's the salt you put on your food. It's sell,
yeah.
SEL. So it make the same sound.
Well,
Cell.
the cell, I mean, the salts, it is a cell, it's a cell salt. It all goes back to being a cell. Yeah, it's a cell. And then when you're like selling, like if you create something, it's like, oh, I don't want to give this up. I put my heart and soul into this. That's it. That's exactly what you're doing when you actually work on your actual own work, and you're putting your own labor into it. And then when you're going to work for someone else, they're reaping the benefits of your labor, your soul, you're sort of selling your soul to these people, and they're you're not getting your full value of yourself. Self, self, self.
No,
Eh,
it's sell. That's it. It's to give for money. So selling, exact, and sell the you put someone into a small room, body part. Also, you have sell within you. No? This is a very word that goes like you have a cell phone. Like you put someone. That's why cell phones. At one point, you have to realize that this is your prison. If you're always on your cell phone, that's your
Yeah.
prison right there. They tell you it's a cell phone. You're in a prison when you use that's look me. I'm staying. Try to stay far as possible. I don't even know where it is now. I don't even know where I put it. So it's not really a concern to me
Yeah.
that the cell phone, but because I know it's a
It,
device just to make me prisoner of something.
yeah, it's always like a secular. It's a section. It's always this what it breaks it down to one singular molecular thing. That's what the salt is. I mean, together it's a couple of minerals, but together it creates one cell. Yeah, that's interesting. Eh, the side. Uh,
Yeah. I have
uh,
some. Hold on, I have a few comments here in the chat là, that I would like also to look at. Là. Leslie is there. Large up Leslie always. Much love every time. Cedar keeps moths away. The smell of it is nice. Yeah, exact. That's what we said. The old box made in cedar. And Faz says, "I." What is interesting is that suicide or genocide side is to kill, yeah, and we make cider. That's it. Apple cider vinegar. Side is to kill. Suis suis le soi, the self suis le soi. Oui. So inversion anglo-saxon and French Latin like kid, enfant, seed, graine, young and mort, sid. Yeah, because on dit un homicide en français. When you kill someone, c'est un homicide. Attends, là, on va développer
Lord.
là-dessus, là, parce que tu as un génocide aussi, un homicide. So the Sid. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Then like the killing things, insecticide is in says some sort of, usually for the bug killing things, is some sort of inside.
Insecticide, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, and that's just it. It's the same sound as B side on the side.
Beside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. I'm just gonna
It,
make a small research during the time you talk.
yeah. There's a That's funny too. Yeah. Yeah. The genocide, like you're citing the generation, like you're splitting up the generations.
Yeah, you have a lot of
Sui,
word. Look,
sui
word.
the self. Yeah, sui. That's where suicide comes from. Yeah, that's more of a French based word. Sui is the self.
Yeah, je suis, c'est ça. Suicide. Suicide. Hey, wow. Suicide. C'est là qui vient le mot. Wow, j'ai jamais pensé à ça. Wow, merci Faz. Merci Faz de ton commentaire parce que ça vient d'éclairer beaucoup. Un suicide, a suicide. C'est je suis en
Yeah.
français.
See,
Wow.
yeah, the other side. That's that's what science is trying to hide, is the actual other side, is like what we're talking about, the gateway to the other side. It's the doorways to the other side. It Yeah, that's what it's, the
Yeah.
gateway.
And you see that side coming back often pesticide, patricide, sporicide, algicide, vermicide, wow,
Yeah,
matricide,
you
fungicide.
decide.
There's all kinds of. Wow.
Yeah.
So side. So now we're not gonna for sure like suicide. You have it here, but when this, what it makes me know, I'm not gonna go through the old side thing maybe
Dude,
now.
but
The
the apple
truth,
cider, I mean, it seems to be that fermenting of things is sort of a good thing to us. Like, vinegar isn't exactly a terrible thing. It's very ancient. It's great for the health. It kills bugs, bad bugs, and stuff like that. So, yeah, like, you can make natural toothpaste out of apple cider vinegar. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense that apple cider vinegar exactly would be good for you. It kills the bad stuff inside.
Yeah. Yeah, no, apple cider vinegar is apparently extremely, extremely helpful and healthy. I used it the other day. It's sort of a cleanse sort of thing. Yep.
Wow. Hmm. And the question is Le Cid of Corneille, the famous piece of theater. Yeah, Le Cid
Mm.
of Corneille. Le Cid.
Cornell, cornel. The corn is the core, and then you have the corn is the same as the pineal gland. It's the same thing. It's the earbud. It's the seed. The corn is the seed. It's actual, and yeah, it's the same as the pineal gland sort of thing, is of the pine cone shape, the corn ears, the maze. This is how we go through our mazes, through our corn, through,
And
and through our what's the cornucopia, and then look, cornucopia. Deal with your corn copes with the EAs out there. you know uh
And then you have Orn. Why you have Orn on the car and corn, corn,
corn
corn. Like
corn
I don't
Yeah,
know. There might be a
ornament it's
ornament.
yeah, it's then you get the honorable horn. It's all that's it's about what you're singing. Your horn.
But, but the side thing, very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, very interesting that thing we're doing here. Me, I'm getting more clear. It's just we're clearing a bit more confusion, the more because that's what confused me. I think the English language and French and all the language are there a bit. If you have
Yeah.
no awareness of the words you speak, you're going to become very confused. I think and that's what I was confused because no awareness, no observation, nothing. So I think with this work we're doing here, it's yes, it's we're gonna gain clarity for sure. And look, just the seed suicide side. Now, when I see side in words,
Yeah.
I'll give attention.
Boom.
It's not because we're doing the whole work here, bringing you into the deepness of the side and the no, but we are making ourselves aware that hey, the word side when you see it, maybe give attention. There's
Yeah.
a significance there.
Yeah, with all like you said, with all these languages, that there's all they sort of implying. They're not direct enough in the meaning, and that word. They're not direct enough in describing exactly to the T of what is the case at the moment. So it's all open to interpretations, right? And you look at these wars that going on, and how things are, the whole controlling system that's going on right now, with pretty much the gasoline and the bankers, pretty much, right? A number of years ago, there was like 7 or 8 countries that didn't have the centralized banking system. And a couple of these are Russia and China. These are a couple of newer ones. Iran, I think, one of them. But yeah, there's three of them. Whereas Iran, one of them that still exists. Yeah, there's North Korea, there's Cuba, and yeah, one of those eastern ones, Iran or something like that. The ones that we're having problems, the ones that we're still having problems, what they say we're having problems with. And the Russia and China, they're still sort of having problems with. Well, they're just new to this whole new thing, and they're like, this is kind of bull crap. We're getting a raw deal with this money, this gasoline based money system that's controlled pretty much by the American dollar. And then, like, yeah, but still lots of these countries too, that they're going. Syria, Syria is the one. Yeah, Syria is the one. They don't have a centralized banking system. And but you look at Syria, it's a very, very ancient place, and they're going in there and they're shooting up all the old monuments. Well, these are the Akkadian languages. If you listen to Thomas, or go over Thomas Ergoin's Light of Egypt book, he states in there, yeah, no, that they gone in and they destroyed the Akkadian languages that was in there in Syria. This was even years ago that it was published, because it had the root meanings of what they're talking about. Of the basics of the true. I was just reading. They put a word to it. It's like perfection, like perfect language. It means exactly what it means, and it doesn't mean anything else. And you cannot interpret the word for anything else besides the word. But everything else is alluding to and sort of almost perfectional. I think they call it, where it's close to, but not exactly the perfect root. And then, yeah, everything else is just all, it's up to interpretation.
Exactly. Uh, my other one here, censor first, because after there is censor and censor, like C and S, and census and census, but we'll do first censor, like one is judge of suitability, the little censor.
Yeah.
No, censor is the judge of suitability, is the censorship. That's it. Censorship come from censorship, and the other one, sensor, is the receiving device. Like you put a sensor on the machine, or so yeah.
Yeah, it's censored. Yeah, you're
Sensor,
censored, or severed, or they're cut. Your senses are cut with this
and
senses. Yeah, the population count, right after too. Yeah, you get the census. Yeah.
yeah, you get the census, the population count, and also like in the word sensor, you have sense and or sense, like a
Yeah.
sense. And
Or
often electronic pieces are made of gold, like I mean, especially computer and stuff. So is that
yeah.
why you have the sense because it's the gold
Or
element
yeah, the gold is a fantastic. It's one of the best electronic connections out there.
Yeah,
That's what bugs me about jewelry, is like that's a much better tool elsewhere than you're wasting it on just flashing it for yourself. That could be used for making electronics better and cheaper.
not only that, Jewel, look at it, how many people wear chain around their neck. Come
Uh,
on. You wear a chain. Sometimes they have thick gold chain. Like you're wearing a chain around your neck. Like are you trying to free yourself, or to free yourself from the chain and the
yeah.
stuff holding you back, and then you put a chain in your neck or a tie. Like
Yeah, that's exactly it. You're reining in. You're being reined in. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. You're being bridled.
Senses
Put
also
in.
senses refer to faculties. This is very significant, because faculties, we can use that also for university. Like, on va aller à la faculté. À la faculties in the university, it's called faculties also. So,
Yeah,
what is
then
the
you get, like,
university has to do with our senses exactly?
that's pretty much the same word of facilities. Instead of saying the it's a faculty facility. It's same sort
You
of
have the word
word.
cult. Also cult,
Ah,
cult. Thief.
it's what they are.
But they are basically is what they are. Là. Let's be honest here. Là.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
cult of je sais pas trop quoi, science or something. But
well, yeah, I mean, because that's what our senses does. I mean, they facilitate our senses. We're able to sense these things of us. It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense to us. The sense us, the sense of
and
us.
population census là, en français,
Yeah, see,
sus.
same thing too. The sense of us, the scent, this, a cent is like one, a penny, a millimeter sort of
Yeah,
thing,
scent,
centimeter.
the scent, but also sus. En français, c'est it's sucking in English.
Scent sucking, scent is
No,
sucking.
sus.
So,
The sound sus. When you say sus, en français, c'est
sensus,
sucking.
sensus, sus. Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
I
sus
heard
the
that too.
scent,
Like
something like
breast
that.
milk is a sus, or yeah, suckling on a breast is sus. I
Yeah,
heard
that's it.
sus, just Jesus.
Baby suck on nipples, des sus le sein, c'est ça? So
Yeah,
sus, sans
the
sus. Because we
sus
use the same word in French also, sans sus, là, on peut dire en
s-
français aussi.
substance of the SS of the dual waves. Sus.
Interesting. And the scent after, yeah, the scent, the penny, the scent to make go in the scent when you smell something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that it's all of our senses: touch, feel. Uh, it's what is sent. What is put here. What is. Yeah, yeah. It all is what is the thing. What is the thing that is put here? What mothered whom? This is why. Yeah, what mothered
But
whom?
also the scent, like the smell and the scent, the money, the penny, pen, pen, again, pen in there, penny.
And
It's a
yeah,
scent. It
it's a
has, and the word scent. Like they say that money has an odor. Like I used to hear something like
huh.
l'argent a une odeur ou quelque chose comme ça. It has an odor. Like
The
your
coins
money has an
definitely
odor. Maybe your money stinks, or I don't know. I
do.
heard something.
Yeah, yeah, money stinks. How it's used, and yeah,
Yeah,
it could be. I mean, it could be a fairly useful thing if it was made fair and structured fair. I don't see a complete waste in money if it was just done properly. That's the whole thing with money, like it, because yeah, I mean the barter system, it sort of gets a little bit. Yeah, how much knitted things do you really need,
yeah,
because so some people's talents are some people's talents, but that's the sort of thing, like if you're a doctor, if you're a healing person and you're sent here to heal, and well, sure, you may have to put in the time and it takes more effort to do the thing that you're going to do, but that's what you're meant here to do. This is what you're put here to do, so do the thing that's to be done, and that this is your job, this is your duty.
yeah. Uh, Wint in the chat says French is the gayest language ever spoken. What does that mean exactly? What does he
See,
signify by
that's so
gayest?
that term could be used for so many things. The guess is that happiest, is that
Okay.
lame. It could be used as lame sort of thing. Yeah, it's
Could be negative or positive.
yeah, sort of a pushover. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That word has so much connotations, and depending where you're from, what sort of circles you're in, other circles are going to use this gay term
But
differently.
what's also with the French and the wrench? Like French wrench, like a wrench,
French.
like a
Well,
tool, the wrench.
because like you get the franc, right? The franc is French. It's franc. Or franc is the dollar. Franco. Then you have frank as being frank. I'm
Okay,
being curt. I'm getting to the point, and I'm not really caring about your feelings at the moment. I'm just going to speak my point out and being frank.
okay, I'm gonna dive a bit deep in this, but is that because we know that Freemasonry, franc-maçon, started in probably in France or something like that? I heard this.
Like going back, yeah. I mean, they call it Mesozoic, Messiah. There's all sort of a sort of a root word of Masonic in there, and sometimes they put Zionic in there. Going back to ancient Hebrew, and it seems that, yeah, I think I've even seen it in some Sanskrit, some sort of Illuminatus, some sort of Masonris. Ma- it's it,
But
it's old, this masonry and Illuminati thing. It's very ancient.
where I wanted to take it is on YouTube here in the chat. I can give a wrench. It's called a wrench. You give a wrench to people, and in the French, so the Freemason from
Mhm.
France, we know that they're the Gmail thing. Everyone saw the symbol of the Gmail. It's their apron. The
Yeah.
Freemason apron is the symbol of the Gmail, and Gmail is Google. Google bought probably everything, YouTube and everything. So they have probably control over this. So is that why we see a wrench? Because it's
Yeah.
because you know the whole construct. Look, there's blue, red everywhere.
It's a tool, right? It's a tool. A tool is a wrench, you know, sort of a useful thing that you ream on to get your desired outcome.
okay, but why give a wrench here in the chat? What's the C at chat C at and with a wrench? Like what? Because you have a hat, you're a worker, you get a wrench. Like I
Well,
want to get it.
a tool isn't exactly a terrible thing, it's useful. Tools are useful. We're using our voices as we speak as a tool, as a wrench to ream down and get to the bottom of some sort of uh, well, some sort of understanding.
But
you
also
know
a wrench is for a nut. Usually undo a nut, and a nut has what, five side, I think, to
some
a
sort
nut.
of it's either to create a
I'm going
binding.
far, but
Yeah, it's to make a binding, to make it to put things together, or to take something apart,
okay,
you
yeah,
know. No,
okay.
no matter what, it's for a desired outcome. It's a tool to use for a desired outcome. France was that was the next, like, after. Hey, it's 6 o'clock.
Oh, the siren! Sound the siren!
Yeah, yeah, after the whole Julius Caesar in Rome, Julius Augustus Caesar and his son, his adopted son, not his true son, not the true father of Julius Caesar, and son. But yeah, after all their reign and after all that, the Germans and Romans, they're the next to come together and sort of, hey, you're leaders, you're leaders. Hey, let's be leaders together. Then after, things got kind of bad. And then they moved over to France, and France was the next big hotspot of everything. This is where the top of the pyramid of Giza there went for a bit there.
Yeah, French,
Was France. Yeah,
okay,
the Paris, that's, such a Mason town, like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next one is a cereal, the food, the breakfast food, but it's not
Ah,
something personally that I
the
consume much.
serial killer, yeah, yeah, the serial is
And the
serial
cereal,
killer.
but also you can connect something in series, also like a serial thing
Mm.
in a series. That's a serial. Also, yeah, cereal.
Then you have the serial number. Yeah, the surreal number.
sear all also, and the sound sear is the same as seer, and the sear in I
Agree.
think it's Sanskrit or something like that means someone an enlightened one or something. I would have to go back and check. Let me check this out.
Yeah.
Sear,
Wow.
but sear.
I went over that today too. I was trying to refind it. I did come upon Psy
Yeah, a
for
seer. Look,
the
a seer.
siren.
A seer is a prophet, a clairvoyant is a
Yeah, a
seer.
seer. It's like you go back to the French or the Latin seer, nasir, to see. Like that's nescience is negligence of seeing, or not seeing. Yeah, the nasir is not seeing. Yeah, sear is how, yeah, what sees, what burns into, because it's searing. Right.
Yeah.
You also can sear your food. There's the light, it focuses and sears into the back of the eyeball to those sensors.
Cool. Okay, last one for tonight. After that, I have to
Yeah, yeah.
finish this one there because I have to go pick up Abby. I have to go do my taxi duty. And it's choose because you choose masticate.
Choose.
You masticate,
Yeah.
masticate, mast,
Mass.
mast. What would that mass? Because there's a lot of word with mass.
Yeah, well, that's the matter, what that's the whole mass, the thing, the core. It's usually, yeah, have to do with the core, the mass center. This is where the weight and the power of everything too is going to come with the mass. And then you have the mass where, the ritual of y- mourning, right? Isn't that mass, Sunday mass? And you get together the masses. uh,
Yeah, there's a lot that refers to a lot of stuff.
you have
Like
Christmas. Yeah, Christmas is like a morning of
Christmas.
Christ. You're putting together the, yeah, in mourning your Christ. Uh,
Hmm. Masticate. Anyway, interesting
yeah,
word.
masticate. Yeah, that's like to like tear apart, right? You're it's to destroy. Mastication. Yeah, yeah.
So mast with the mast. That's
And then you have the mast of the ship.
the mast of the ship. That's it. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, yeah. Always the mass of.
A
It's all, yeah.
vertical. Look, mast. A vertical structure consisting of a spar or several spars affixed end to end, rising from the keel or deck of a sailing vessel to support the sail. So, is the word
It,
masturbation come from there too?
well,
That's
it's all a part of our center mass. And you hear that Achilles with, so the Achilles, the bottom, yeah, the bone, yeah, the bottom Achilles, the bottom structure. Then, yeah, the mass, the center, yeah, the masturbate.
yeah.
That's what our center core is. Uh, it's all one thing. Our voice, and down there in our nether regions, the opposite end, the as above, so below. It's the same thing. It's all one center core, and you can speak with your whole center core if you want to, and your belly. And it's your whole core that you're speaking with now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all one thing. It's all one center mast. Your spinal. Yeah, it's the spine, the
Yeah.
mast.
The sailing vessel. Yeah, they say a lot here about mast,
And where
but it
you're going to
mostly
point
refers
it.
to ship.
Yeah, yeah. How you going to point your mast and deal with the oceans that are flowing?
Yeah.
It's,
Anyway,
yeah, to go against the wind, you got to like you got to go back and forth. I forgot what that term was. You checked up on sailing. You know, you gotta to fight the wind and the current. You got to go back and forth and go back and forth, and you can't go straight against the wind because the wind is against you, and you can't. So you got to.
that's very, very interesting how to sail. I was looking at it the other day because I wanted to learn it. How to sail eventually if I need to sail my boat. If I
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to set sail, I'll know how to set sail. And that's very interesting because you can never, never go directly against the wind. You're not gonna move. So to
yeah.
move, you have to be
You
on
go
a certain,
backwards.
like there's a certain range, like I think it's like that, or I think it's 60-degree in front of you. You cannot have the wind because I think you stay in place.
Oh, beating against the wind. That's what it's called,
Yeah.
beating, because it's a beat. Boom, 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 boom. You know, so yeah, you're
And
beating against
also
the wind.
like the two elements because you have the sometimes the waves because the waves can go against you, but then
Opposite,
you have to
different than the wind. Yeah.
the wind is still pushing you forward, so it's very like it's magical to see this thing go forward, even the word forward, going forward, 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 going
Yeah.
forward.
And like to sail your ship, it's work.
Yeah.
It's that's yeah. I forgot what the exact quote was, but yeah, someone it was someone commented about like, oh, going out, it's fun. Oh, it's not fun. No, it's sailing is work. Making your ship go to where it wants to go, and flowing with everything is it's hard work, and so yeah, you got to work on sailing right and where you put your mast.
Yeah, and the ocean can be also a bit scary,
Then you
especially
become a master of the sea, right? You're
master. Yeah, word that
Mhm.
we forgot that word, master. Yeah, masticate master. Yeah,
Yeah,
so a
and then
master is
you're a master of everyone else. You're the ruler. Yes,
yeah.
yeah. The ruler goes back to being that center hardcore.
That's it. So thank you very much, Will, and thanks everybody in the chat. We'll be back tomorrow. Will
Yeah,
be
yeah,
probably 1 p.m. my time, so 12 Will's time, and that's it. Will be a bit earlier because I'm
yeah.
on Byte Radio UK at 4 p.m. So unless we do it at 7, but after the radio, like
Oh,
I smoke a couple joint during my session, so I do this with my head. When I come here, most of the time I'm not stoned. I'm not. I
clarity.
can
Yeah.
have a smoking, but I mean I'm not out of focus. Like sometimes if I smoke a bit too much, I lose my focus.
Yeah, depending on the stuff too, and it's going to hit
Yeah,
you
yeah.
differently too. Some has more oomph to it.
I
Oomph.
prefer to come here and be sharp and yeah,
Wow.
keep my sharpness. So thanks, Faz, Leon, Winter, James, for your nice compliment about the language that I speak. It's not my language. I haven't chose to speak like. I'm very fortunate. Very, I give thanks for it because today, especially doing this with you, we make so much relation. No, but thanks for your nice, not a nice word, your
Yeah.
kind words. Thank you for your
Yeah.
kind words because that's what we should
Kind.
be kind. We are humankind after all. We're supposed to be kind with each other. Yeah. So faculty is aptitude. Faz Leon. Thanks, Faz, for all your inspiration, your shared inspiration. Leslie also. Leslie, large up
Yeah,
every
we
time.
wouldn't have figured out seed without Fast Leon there.
Seed
Yeah,
and yeah.
seed inside. Oh, that's something. That's huge. That's
Yeah,
huge.
that's huge. The seed, the side is to kill. Yeah, the
It's the
license.
other side. It's all about the
The
other
other
side.
side, everything about side now, I'm gonna for sure give attention to it. Thank you very much for. But we
Uh-huh.
do this thing together. That's why it's good to have the chat on. And sometimes if
Direct.
you, yeah, look, what is interesting? Yeah, okay, that's what you said before. Will is in the chat too. Shivit. Je pense que I think it's from India, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken. Shivit Jagnart. I think it's from India because I saw this name on the hangout with the PT also. Like, yeah. PT, we should see him
yeah.
back eventually. I think he's still
Sasquatch mind control.
Yes, Sasquatch. My bro O'Neill from Vancouver, Large Up O'Neill, every time. Yeah, he has something great going with his
Leslie
father.
always looks out.
Yeah, great music stuff, and he has his own Plastic Magic, a record thing going to live and direct from Vancouver, BC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cosmic Cat. Yeah, break on through to the other side. Break
yeah,
on. You know the Doors song. The Doors.
yeah.
Break on through to the other side.
And
Ah,
you can check also O'Neill's video. That's what he says. Check on YouTube, Aliens from the Bahamas. That's O'Neill and his buddy making a song about the mind control, I think, or something like that. I think it's very actual and very great lyrics and stuff and great music. So check him out. Aliens from the Bahamas on YouTube. And us will be back tomorrow, like I said, probably 1 p.m. Like, should be that.
yeah.
If
On the
something
next
change, I'll let
sun.
you know. But thank you very much, everyone. We're out. See ya. Boom.
Boom.